Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Tuesday, November 26, 2024. Let's take a look at the long term. I'm going to start there as usual, 2 to 3 months out, and that is to say that we've got long-term support that I think is actually now a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week objective following yesterday's activity. I'll get to that in a moment. In the mid 110s, 116.63 to 119.97 and climbing. Now, if the market fends off that sell signal from yesterday, which I'll get to in a moment, then we're once again in reach of this narrowing zone of long-term resistance between 166.66 and 172.94. These are the parameters, mid 160s, low 170s to mid to upper 110s that are our two-sided framework through the first quarter, really, both of which can contain monthly, quite possibly quarterly activity. Now, what did occur going to the 2 to 3 week outlook, 2 to 3 weeks and out? I will show you that on Monday, we closed below this daily channel bottom at 139.23, and that set up a sell signal that we can play now. 137.15 is once again the low of the high of last week. Last week was an all-time high. And on the weekly chart, when you close the week, but even a daily settlement doesn't look good, then you've got a sell signal. And in this case, it is a sell signal into the 116, 119 area. This is backed up by what we're seeing on the daily chart now, completely different reasoning below the 139.23 formation. So selling 137.15 to 139.23, let me put it this way. I don't think you want to be long right now if your time frame is 3 to 5 weeks out. And in fact, if you are adept at playing both sides of the market, you're short. Following yesterday's settlement, as recommended, playing the short side into the 118.02 to 120.42 region. Now, these numbers are a little bit different on the daily chart. We've got weekly chart same at 116.63 to 119.97. I also, consistent with this sell signal, I want to draw your attention to the triple Q. Now, I provide daily triple Q analysis at wickedstocks.com that comes with the subscription. I also do weekly NASDAQ 100 index analysis, and our subscribers have known now for months that this 5-year channel top that we actually tested again on Monday by pushing very close inside the 1% zone. We tested it for several weeks in July, fell away significantly to the August low, and then 3.5 months later, for the last few weeks, we've been testing it again without closing above it. And so 512.02 is your resistance that can contain buying through the first quarter, and the triple Q is susceptible now to falling back into the 430s over the next several months. Now, in our wickedstocks.com analysis, we provide the near-term parameters, the levels that, if settled below over the next week or two, would then clarify 430, 417 as a realistic 2 to 3 month target. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, NVIDIA is, I think, last I looked, about 8% it comprises about 8% of the triple Q, of the NASDAQ 100. So I don't think you can really ignore triple Q analysis. I know we're tooting our horn here, suggesting you go to wickedstocks.com, but I do think in terms of trading this stock, it's not a bad play to include that in your toolbox. 139.23 begins at 137.15, can contain buying through the rest of the week and even through the rest of the year, and below which 118.02 to 120.42 remains a 3 to 5 week target or sooner. And there's your 139.23, and I can show you our objectives now. I'm going to need to move to the 3 to 5 days. Today in 3 to 5 days. So this is the near-term outlook. And I'm going to jump to this chart here and show you that we have a rising 1/3 speed line today at 133.80 intraday support, but we could bottom out here early in the day, rally our way back to 137.15 to 139.23. That is a solid day tradable range, but know that 129.13, our downside 3/8 Fibonacci from the November high to the August low, is now a 3 to 5 day objective. We might see that actually over the next day or two if we settle today, for instance, below 138.80. And in fact, if we break 138.80 early enough in the day, we could test 129.13 today. where a daily low can be placed. But just know, I don't suggest buying this market unless you're a day trader. And yes, you could get a 3 to 5 day pop bounce off of 129.13. But the big picture right now over the 3 to 5 week time frame is bearish, below 139.23, expecting 129.13 over the next 3 to 5 days, and the 118.02 to 120.42 region over the next 3 to 5 weeks or sooner. If over the next few days we close below 129.13, we should by the end of next week test 118.02 to 120.42, where we could bottom out not only through the rest of December, but even well into the first quarter and round our way back up from there over the months, weeks, and months to follow. Upside, what is there to say about the upside? If we were to push or perhaps open above 139.23, the market could short cover its way back to 144.36 on an intraday basis. But right now we're weighing 148.88 as our next meaningful upward pivot point as we move into next week. So if we close today above 139.23, that does reject yesterday's sell signal, because after all, 137.15, which I showed earlier, and again on the weekly chart, the low of the high, would also be settled back above if we close today above 139.23. And if we do close today above 139.23, 148.88 is our 3 to 5 day upside objective. And I will say that if we do finish the week out above 137.15, after having closed once again above the 139.23 formation, that we can then sort of re-anticipate, if you will, those longer term resistance levels that on the weekly chart come in at 166.66 to 172.94. That would be once again like a 3 to 5 week, 2 to 3 to 5 week target if we can close today back above 139.23. Until then, the emphasis is bearish. And this is especially true given the fact that the NASDAQ has sort of been suggesting as much, really. So there you have it. My suggestion is check out wickedstocks.com, take advantage of that 5-day free trial, and put the triple Q in your toolbox, at least for the rest of the week. I'm going to leave it at that. I will be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesday's triple Q. Sorry, this isn't the triple Q, with Wednesday's NVIDIA report. I'm going to leave it at that. You have a great evening.